how we doing, everybody? Once again, welcome back. As always, I appreciate you stopping by and taking time to watch another video. So tonight, I am going to get started on the bin I've been talking about. If you've caught the last couple of videos, I had a visitor in the wood yard. Joe from Okie Woodsman was here, and we actually split quite a bit of wood, had some fun with chainsaws. So if you haven't caught those videos, go back and check those out if you will. And then Joe is going to have some videos coming on his channel. But a lot of fun we had. But now I've got a full dump trailer over here that I actually need this weekend and nowhere to go with the firewood. You guys know that have been watching, I predominantly put everything in totes. I'm currently out of totes, so you know what? I want to give the bin a try. If you've been around the community, you know that everyone is going to loose, conveyored, or thrown firewood bins, and they are working. I have no doubt it's not going to work. I am going to kind of test it because I'm going to be pushing the limits. I've got a lot of trees overhead, and this area that I'm going to be putting it in here on the gravel is not full sun. It's going to have morning shade and afternoon sun. So we're going to test it, and I'm putting relatively semi-seasoned splits into it off of the maple that I brought home from one of the farms. It's been on the ground for about 5-6 months now, but I just split it. It's running about 25 to 28%. So I think putting it in here once the leaves fall, get that wind moving through it, all afternoon sun, and then when the leaves all start falling here, I'm gonna have all day sun. So I'm gonna put you guys in time lapse. I showed a little bit in the last video. You could see some cattle panels there. I'm gonna make this bin 16 feet long and 8 feet wide, because I don't want to go too wide, just for my initial test. If it works out, I might go ahead and make it 16 by 16, but I'm gonna put you guys in time lapse because I'm sure you don't want to hear me driving post. When we're all done, I'll show you what I come up with. All right, so here's what we got. I got a bundle of 6.5 foot T-posts, a level, some wire. I've even got some fence clips. I'm not sure those are gonna work because the gauge of the cattle panels might be a little bit too thick. And I'm also gonna take one of these cattle panels and cut it right down the middle at 8 foot for my 2 ends. And that's what we're doing. Let's get started. All right, everybody, so here's what I've come up with. I used 16-foot long cattle panels, 6.5-foot T-post, and I've just laid pallets down in the floor on top of the 2-inch rock. I think that's going to give it plenty of aeration. And what I decided to do is leave this end open. I was going to cut the long, I'll just get over here and show you. I was going to cut the remaining, as you can see right there, there's that 16-foot cattle panel still running that way. I was going to cut that right there and then make 2 ends. But I decided to leave it open, and I'm going to leave that hang for now in case I want to add another post there and make a second bin back here with a divider in the middle. I think that instead of cutting that cattle panel, I'm going to leave it. And then, like I said, I could add another bin back here. And I know my trailer here is in the way, but if I leave both ends of it open, if I have 2 different sides, a side there and a side here, I can access it from the end when it's empty, or pull the bucket up in there and fill the bucket when I need to come time to sell it. So that was the idea. I think it turned out pretty good. I'm short 1 pallet there. I got to get it from work. And something else I didn't do, I didn't elevate that middle pallet, because just the way these pallets that I get free from work worked out, it's perfect right down here at the end for those 16-foot cattle panels. So I think there's going to be plenty aeration underneath there, being on top of the gravel and everything. So tomorrow morning, when I have more time, we're going to get this dump trailer right back there conveyored into that end, and we're going to start filling up the bin, because I need my trailer this weekend. So I'm glad I got this done. We're going to bring you back in the morning to fill that. There's a home football game, homecoming game tonight, and my firewood stand has already been getting hit. So I got to wrap this up tonight and start making some bundles to get caught up, because I'm about out. And we'll bring you back in the morning and start filling this up. All right, everybody, so it is the next morning. I've got the dump trailer behind me tilted, and let me just show you the setup here. I got a tote with firewood in it here, because there was a few sticks of elm in this maple, and I don't want that going in the bin. So I'll be stacking it right off of the, before I throw it in the conveyor. If I find elm, it's going to go in there. I've got my oversized bucket sitting here. Any of this firewood that I pick up, let's say like this, that is really nice bundle grade wood, I'm throwing it in the bucket over there. And I've got a tote over here that needs finished filling for bundle grade. And I got the FC16 conveyor over top of the end of the new firewood bin or bunker, whatever you want to call it. So that's the setup. I'm going to separate as I go, and we're going to put all of the bulk grade maple in here. So let's fill it up. Sorry everybody, the trailer is empty. And let's show you what we came up with and give you my final thoughts on this firewood bin. So I finished off my tote with the elm that was in there in the trailer. I was sorting as I go. I got a nice bucket of bundle grade. Now there was a lot more bundle grade in there than what I was saving out, but I'm doing pretty good on bundle grade. I need to get more bulk firewood put back because that's where the sales are at right now. Excuse me. The FC16 did awesome. I'm finding more and more uses for it every day. And let me just tell you a couple things right off the bat. Even though when you put the extension table on and the grizzly bars, when you're splitting in to the conveyor, it separates a little bit of that chaff out. But look at what's left in the trailer. This is all bark and small chaff that did not go up that conveyor and make it into the firewood bin. So that is one good thing about it. And let me just talk to you about why I built mine this way. It's only 8 foot wide. I told you before, it's just the way it worked out for the cattle panels and the pallets, but there's 2 reasons for this. I can reach pretty far out. I was pushing that cone over, getting it back against the walls by hand. It's going to be a lot narrower because I am in a semi-shaded area to let more air flow through. And then when I split into my bucket, let's say I did not have a conveyor here, I never know when they're going to go back. I can dump right over the side with my Coyote 2620 and reach the middle of this bin. So my idea is to go ahead and leave this end open for now. And let's say I never have enough wood in here to fill it all the way to the end, then I could just come in to this end with my big bucket and load up to take up to the firewood stand. Or, you know, and I can also pick pallets up as I'm going, so I can pull in on that gravel and get closer to the firewood. What I mainly want to use this for is because I've got the semi-seasoned splits that have been down for so long, they're almost dry. Just to give it a try, utilize that conveyor. And then, like I said earlier, I got another whole spot back here. I can put a pole and make another bin for a different species of wood. Another thing I was thinking of while I was conveying up the conveyor, with it only being 8 foot wide, it'll be a lot easier for me to tarp this. Let's say it's getting ready to snow or the leaves start falling. I can tarp this a lot easier with it being 8 foot wide. To show you what the outside looks like, I know a lot of people use the wire, the roll of wire. I did not find any of that, and the reason I used cattle panel is because I wanted to be able to take these down. If this doesn't work out, I can take these down. These are very resellable. They stay semi-straight, and I'll just show you the end because I was going to put another pole on this end. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. You see it's got a little bulge down there, but what I do is just go down there and kind of push back on it. And when I push that firewood over, it straightens up for the most part pretty well. So I may wind up not liking that and putting another pole in between on the end. And I may wind up getting enough of this dry wood at the farm to go ahead and close the end off and make it a full bin. But we'll see. But guys, if you've stuck around this long, I appreciate it. That's my thoughts so far on the bin. And I've got more maple right over there to split, and I've got more logs at the farm, at least another dump trailer load. So this will probably be all the way full when it's all said and done. So stay tuned to add on to the bin. So guys, I appreciate you being here. Until next time, as always, get outside. We'll see you.